Okay, so in this video, we're going to continue working on multiplying whole numbers and fractions. But this video is going to focus on using number lines and why they are an effective way to make our thinking visual and also as a way to kind of explore fraction multiplication. This is all going to start out using this similar situation here where Emilio is going to earn $24 an hour as a video equipment technician. So that is his base salary or his base pay that he is making. To just kind of start exploring and thinking about this, we could figure out how much he earns for 3 hours of work through using multiplication. For example, if he's working 3 hours, it's going to be basically like those three groups of 24, or 3 times 24 is really the problem that we're looking at. So using our skills that we've learned prior to this, we could take 3 times 24 and we would know that Emilio is making $72 in those 3 hours. We could, however, if we wanted to make our thinking visual, actually use a number line where on the bottom we could have the hours worked, and then on the top we could have the pay. So like for example here, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So if he's worked 0 hours, he makes $0. At 1 hour, he's making 24, 48, then 72, and we can kind of make those little jumps to show that he's going to make $72 for those 3 hours of work. That's our typical multiplication. We're multiplying two whole numbers. What we want to focus on is what happens when he doesn't work a full hour. So even when he doesn't work a full hour, he's still going to get paid. It's just that his pay is going to be broken down based on the amount of time that he's working. So for the second example, how much would he earn for 2/3 hours of work? So what we're really trying to find out is what is 2/3 of 24, like we were kind of talking about with the bar models. Or this is the same as taking 2/3 times the $24. We could still use the bar model and things like that, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it would look like also as a number line. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to make kind of that double number line. So down here is going to be the hours, and on the top I'm going to put the pay. So we have 1 hour, we have 2 hours. Now this time he's not going to work for a full hour. And if you think about our unit is now 1 full hour, and we're going to look at how his hour is broken up based on this fraction. So in this case, our fraction is going to, or our hour is going to be broken into 3 parts because that's our denominator. So I'm going to take that 1 and I'm going to break it into 3 parts. Okay, so this would be 1/3 of an hour, this would be 2/3 of an hour, and 1 hour would really be 3/3. And since we know that 1 full hour is 24, I'm going to do that same thing, but now I'm thinking about 24 divided into the 3 parts. So each part, or each third of an hour, Emilio's making $8. So here we would have $8, 16, and then 24. And now when we start to make those jumps for that 2/3 of an hour, we would see that Emilio is actually making $16 if he was only working 2/3 of an hour. So what I would like you to do right now is actually pause the video and see if you can kind of use what we've talked about so far to figure out how much Emilio would make if he was working for 2 3/4 hours. And then come back to the video and kind of check your work. So here as we're looking at this one, we want to find out what 2 3/4 times the $24 an hour is going to be. I'm going to continue to use the number line since that's the strategy that we're focused on. Once again, I'm going to put hours on the bottom and pay on the top. I'm just going to go ahead, section off my number line first by the full hours. And just from experience of what we did earlier, I know that if he works 1 hour, it's $24. 2 hours going to be $48. 3 hours would be $72. Now here, because I'm using a number line, I could section off the whole thing, but because I know that I have 2 full groups, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go ahead and jump those 2 full hours. So I know that Emilio's made $48, and then what I'm going to focus on is just breaking up that last hour into those 4 parts, because that's what our hour is broken into. So I'm going to take that hour, I'm going to split it into fourths, and like we did before, I'm going to take 24 and I need to figure out what that is split into 4 parts. So each part's going to be worth $6. So here I'm essentially going to count by sixes. So I would do 48 plus 6, which is going to give us 54. And then plus 6 again is going to give 60. And then 66, and then we will get to 72. So now when I jump for my 3/4 of an hour, the other way we could do it if you didn't want to count on here is you could essentially take 48 and do plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, or even thinking about, since each 6, we have 3 groups of 6 that we're essentially adding 18 here, and you wanted to make that jump. But any way we kind of think through it, we're going to find out that if Emilio would work for 2 3/4 hours, he is going to make $66 for his time.